Alright guys, today we're going to go ahead and react to newly acquired safety Nick Scott explains why he signing with the Bengals was the right decision. Now this comes from a whole entire, press conference when he first signed with the Bengals that he talked about a lot of different things about his life and, things going on in his life and also about, again, like I said, signing with the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's go ahead and listen to this 1-minute clip and react to what he has to say. 1 second, guys.
Honestly, a lot of factors. I could go down a list. One of the first ones being the need for a safety, right? That's a no-brainer. Wanted to be somewhere where I felt like I was wanted. Another huge factor, just coming out here on this visit and getting a chance to meet Coach Lou and Coach Rob and, just talk ball with them. I'm super excited about what those guys can do. Their scheme and everything like that and how they see me fitting into it. That being said, they got a great group of DBs here as well, a group that's really tight-knit. Those guys have already got my number and reached out and made me feel welcome. And then the other side of that is the family aspect. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so it's not too far from my family. And I think most importantly that this team has a real shot at winning a championship.
So he brings up a lot of good points. First off, yes, he is now going to be the starting safety for the Cincinnati Bengals. With the loss of Jesse Bates and Von Bell, he becomes the numero uno, number one. I think it's actually free safety. And then I believe that Dax becomes a strong safety for you guys. So he becomes the number one guy. A lot of people said oh, well, you're paying him $4 million a year. He's not the starter, right? No, he is the starter. He is the opposite side of Dax Hill. Thing is, and a lot of people are well, why is he getting paid $4 million if he's the starter? Because he's not a proven starter yet. Usually people get crazy money like Jesse Bates or, whoever, is because they've been a starter in the league for so long. They're getting that money because that's their big payday. He is still to a point where he's unproven, but once his 3-year, $4 million contract goes away, and let's say in 3 years from now, if he balls out the next 3 years, this guy's going to make bank when he's 30. He's going to make absolute bank. So that's why, he doesn't make as much money now, but he makes money in the future. Now, as he said on the last part I will touch on is the chance to win a championship. This is why I've said so many times that, the Bengals really can bring in. They're one of the few teams that I truly believe can bring in a lot of good talent for cheaper prices and kind of sell players on the fact that, listen, we have a franchise quarterback. We have a team right now that could go win a Super Bowl. In all honesty, right? And this is me being 1,000% honest. This Bengals roster could go win the next 10 Super Bowls. Or at least the next 10 Super Bowls, I could say that they could compete on every single year and be perfectly fine without any hassle at all. And that doesn't just come down to, well, Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, he is. It's also the culture, right? Because a lot of times people look at Super Bowls and they think, oh, well, it's all based on one simple factor. The best players, right? It's not always a fact. Sometimes it's a culture. It's the brotherhood of staying together, fighting for the whole entire year, fighting through the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, you could do so many things in the regular season. You can go 16 or 17-0, right? Best team ever. The Patriots did it. What happened in the end? They lost the Super Bowl. The Giants beat the Patriots when the Giants were a 6th seed who barely made the playoffs. It's about brotherhood. It's about fighting together for one common goal. And it's really about a magical run. Now, last year, I believe that Cincinnati had a magical run. And some zebras decided that it was not magical enough. Beside the point that, they're a team that can go compete for 10 more Super Bowls and be absolutely fine. Even if they lose this piece or that piece or this piece, they're going to fill somebody else in. They're going to, put the pieces back together. If you have a puzzle and you lose a couple pieces, put some other pieces in there, Fix the puzzle. Fix the problem. And that's what they're doing. I think Nick Scott is a great, amazing player for them to sign. I said it before, I wish they would have signed Taylor Rapp and Nick Scott. I think it was a 1A, 1B type scenario where they were both really good, solid players that could play together know each other's weaknesses, know each other's, strength, and really benefit each other. And I really, again, like I said, I think it's going to be a great team next year, and the secondary is going to be fine. And as he alluded to there with Lou, that's another reason why a lot of these defensive players, they want to go to Cincy. They want to go play with Cincy because they know Lou is going to help them out get to that next level. And again, like I said before many times, it's just like, it's that next level, coaching that pushes the Bengals above. That's why I said, even if, let's say, for example, the horrible thing happened and Lou did get a head coaching job in Arizona, Cincy would be fine, but there would be some free agents / players who wouldn't want to play with the Bengals anymore. Because Lou is that impactful. He is that much of a leader. He's that much of a champion that losing him would impact a lot when it comes to, people wanting to play for the team. Again, like I said, though, at the end of the day, they would find replacements, find someone else to go in there to be the defense coordinator and kind of continue to work on that. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think this, other than the draft, right? And we talked about the draft before, too. By the way, I'm going to post on my community tab. But Jesse Bates also did post a tweet saying, "The Bengals drafted me in 2018 at 21 years old, making my dreams a reality. I'm proud to say we grew together for the better over those years. I made historic memories and bonds with my brothers, the Houday Nation, throughout 5 years. Forever love." 30 out. But if we go ahead and look at the draft simulator, right? I've talked about this before, right? When it comes to the draft. Let's go ahead and go to the Cincinnati Bengals here. Let's go to start draft, blah, blah, blah. Skip forward. There are safeties in this draft that you can put behind Nick Scott to really be an absolute monster. Here we go. So, if we go ahead and look at this draft, right? Obviously, Brian Branch is already off the board. He's going to be off the board in the top 15 picks no matter what. Anyway, though, if we go down this list here, even not the top of the list here, this is the guy I've talked about many times. Quindell Johnson from Memphis. I think he could be an absolute monster. A 6th, 7th round pick. Like, there's so many depth pieces you can add. And I do believe, even though, Nick Scott is not that much of a proven starter yet, meaning he hasn't played as much, and obviously Ronnie Hickman is also a 5th round pick. Even though Nick Scott is not that much of a proven starter yet, I think he can slot in and be absolutely fine for you guys. And again, everyone is correct for the correct price tag. So, this is awesome. This really is awesome. And again, like I said, I watched the whole press conference. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. He knows what he's doing. He has his head correct on his shoulders. And I think he's going to be a great member of Houday Nation for a very long time. And I believe that after the 3-year contract, he'll end up signing a longer contract in the future. Because I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's going to be a Bengal for life. And that's just my personal opinion. I think, again, like I said, if he does blossom here, will he take off and get a huge contract for you guys? Probably so. It's going to be exciting to watch his journey, though, going from, a guy who was unproven to a guy who's going to be the best in the business. But definitely tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.